What is up, Colts fans? I'm here with a draft interview with one of my favorite prospects that I've kind of looked at the last few days, Daylen Baldwin from Michigan. This is a guy who I really didn't know too much about until his agent kind of hit me up the other day. I started looking into the whole backstory of everything and how you got to Michigan, and man, it's been quite a journey for you to this point,
Absolutely.
right? I mean, it had to feel good to get out there for a big school like Michigan this past year, right?
Yeah, most definitely. It's been quite a nice journey. Just blessed, honestly.
Yeah, yeah, and the way I kind of want to start this is, this past year you're a Michigan receiver. You're playing at Michigan, one of the top schools in the country. But you kind of started at a small school in Morgan State. How does a player who is good enough to play at Michigan and get real snaps at Michigan? How'd you start at a school like Morgan State? Not to throw shade at Morgan State by any means,
You
but
good?
yeah.
Just I guess you could say I was a late bloomer. I wasn't super good in high school. I just kept developing, just kept working. I just never like got discouraged. I'm not gonna say I didn't get discouraged at times, but I just kept working no matter what was going on. So, just honestly, it's just a product of just working hard, honestly, and just like never giving up.
Yeah, yeah. And from Morgan State, you transferred to Jackson State, and then kind of all your hard work really paid off down the stretch there with Jackson State before you went to Michigan. I mean, in that, I think it was a 6 game stretch. You had 540 yards receiving, 7 touchdowns, just a phenomenal breakout. What was kind of key for you to finally having that breakout where, instead of it just being like, okay, I'm working, I'm a late bloomer and stuff, to here it is. Now here's the stuff I can put out there. What was kind of the keys to that breakout?
Um, it really wasn't even a key to it. It was just like it was just my time because I didn't do anything different. I was still working hard. Um, During that time, I had an off season, so I had to sit out my first year at Jackson State. I didn't play,
Hmm.
so I had a complete off season to just work on my game. I practiced the whole time, so I was going against the ones. I was on scout team. I was just going against the ones and just taking that approach of like I'm just gonna come out here and get better. We're gonna worry about next year. And what a lot of people don't know is that I actually followed one of my coaches from Morgan State down to Jackson State and never played it down for him. Dion got hired as like after that last season ended, so he ended up being my coach. So for me, I was a little lost down there at times, but I just stayed focused, just kept working hard. Like that was the only thing I had, honestly. So just a product, like I said, just a product of the work, man. It was definitely a long road, but a blessing as well.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. And then it all paid off after that. You were able to transfer to Michigan, and Michigan. I think that's an interesting decision because obviously you had an outstanding season, but there were probably other schools where you could have had maybe more playing time or more opportunities and more targets. What kind of led to the decision to pick Michigan of all the schools that were likely pursuing you?
So I knew Coach Bellamy from high school because he coached at West Bloomfield. So and we knew each other just because I never played against West Bloomfield, but we knew who each other were. So
Yeah.
I knew that I had that relationship there. Then I actually went to go work out at Michigan after I had worked out a couple different Big Ten schools. So really, it was just a relationship that I had with Josh Gattis when he was working out. He's very detailed receiver coach, and for me, it was about being the best version of myself, and I feel like he could pull that out of me. Not just because of the detail that he trained with, the detail that we practice with every day, the things that he harp on every day. They really helped me a lot. So
Yeah.
for me, it was definitely honest. Yeah, I want to play. Yeah, I want all the targets on the team. Like what receiver doesn't? Like you know what I'm saying? But for me, it was really about being the best version of myself, I actually feel like I've done that, and I'm the best version of myself so far. I definitely have a lot more to go still.
Yeah, yeah. Josh Gattis is a really interesting name because I don't know how many people really know it. Like, it's not like a household type name, but
Yeah,
I mean, when you are stacking the best receiver coaches in all of college football, I mean, he's the number one guy or the top two guy. I mean,
absolutely.
he's been the best for a long time. I mean, what did that kind of do for your game, just learning under a guy like that?
Just refined it. So like anything that I had messed up, anything that I didn't do, he just refined it. He harped on it every day. Something like pad level, staying low through your routes. Like he harped on that every day. Every day I was there. Every day until I left. Like it was always pad level, pad level, pad level, no matter what. And that little stuff, just harping on things, details, small details every day, it just helped me a lot. So no, it's definitely a credit to him, and he's a great coach. So
Yeah, yeah, and with these interviews, I typically don't talk about specific moments, but again, with your journey getting to Michigan, your first game that you played, you get that long touchdown catch.
Yeah.
I mean, and it was an insane play. I mean, it was a crazy throw. I don't want to say broken play, but kind of out of structure type play.
Yeah.
And you guys were able to make that big play happen. Just how did it feel for you again with this whole journey, making that big catch in your first game?
Yeah, that was my first catch. I didn't even realize until my homeboy had said something on the sideline. He's like, "Bro, your first catch was a touchdown." I said, "Well, yeah, it's kind of crazy." For me, it just I was just happy. It just meant a lot because, man, it just it paid off. That part of the grind paid off. I'm in another part of the grind right now doing pro day training, so you know what I'm saying. But that part of the grind it paid off is like you got rewarded after so much grinding and hard work, and nobody really noticing what was going on. So that was big for me. It also opened a new path because I wanted to be the best now. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want to just be a part of the receiver corps. I didn't want to be another receiver in the Big Ten. Now I wanted to be the best. So that opened up another avenue of work for me. So, and that's what I was doing my whole time there as well, just working harder than I was probably when I was at Jackson or at Morgan State.
Yeah, and that's just huge. I mean, and you guys had a great season. You were able to finish off your last year at college football with Michigan having an outstanding season, one of their best in a while. And now you kind of get ready for this NFL process where, if you're looking at from an NFL team perspective, you have the height, weight, speed. You have all that stuff that people talk about. You can see it on the film. It's easy. Where the production may not 100% be there. So I'm curious, what's kind of what are you working on this offseason, to show teams that hey, even though I wasn't a 1,000-yard college receiver, I can be a big asset to your NFL team?
Really just my acceleration and short area quickness. That's two things I know I need to work on. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, like you said, they if you watch my film, you see those things big, fast, strong, stuff like that. So for me, it's about just refining the parts of my game that I feel like aren't along with everything else, and just being more consistent in everything, no matter what it is about being a receiver, just being more consistent in every area. So for me, definitely short area quickness and just acceleration. That's something that I'm definitely working on this offseason.
Awesome. And, I'm not one to ever give advice to guys because I've never been there, obviously, or anything. But, from doing this for a couple of years, talking to a lot of players, there's been a ton of guys who are the height, weight, speed guys who will always get the shots or whatever.
Mhm.
But only a handful will actually make it. And I cover the Colts. One guy who comes to mind is the Colts gunner, special teamer, Ashton Dulin. 6'2" guy, 200 pounds, athletic freak. And he's able to kind of stick in the NFL with the special teams, and then now he's playing some on offense. What's kind of your experience with special teams, not just returning or anything, but kind of being a gunner or that kind of stuff?
Yeah, most definitely. So my first 2 years at Morgan, I played all special teams. My wide receiver coach was the special teams coordinator. He made sure I was on everything. He made sure I did good at it. You didn't do good on special teams, you did not play for him. That was the bottom line. That's who he was. So for me, that helped me a lot. Ron Dickerson Jr., that's who my wide receiver coach was when I was at Morgan. So he definitely helped me a lot with that. Just definitely got to play special teams. Do you in the league got to play special teams? That's all he told me. That's all he stuck. So he stuck with me on that. When I did play at Jackson, we were battling some injuries at the receiver spot, so I couldn't really play special teams when I was down at Jackson. And at Michigan was honestly, it was pretty tough playing special teams, learning everything so fast, learning everything with that in the offense. So I kind of got in the rotation. Sometimes a two. I didn't play too much special teams, but I know that's something that I'm going to have to do, and it's something that I'm very comfortable with doing as well. Michigan definitely helped me a lot with just the detail of special teams, because they have a name for everything. It's every little thing. You got to do this just like this. And for the details of special teams, I definitely know. And even when I wasn't on weren't on any specific special teams, I was in the meeting still taking notes. So just understanding that I know I'm going to have to do this one day. And it might not be helping me right now, but in the league I can find my niche somewhere. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's the biggest thing. It's finding that niche and then going from there. Because someone who's covered the Colts, I've seen Ashton Dulin do it. I've seen Zach Pascal do it. A lot of guys where it's they are those height, weight, speed guys, but they came into the league with great special teams, and then they were able to earn bigger roles. And that's kind of the biggest thing that I see with these guys. So just the fact that you're willing and ready and ready to go with that is the biggest thing for these NFL teams.
Mm-hmm.
Another question I had for you is, you're obviously not some 20-year-old receiver in this class. But you are, like you said, like a late breakout, kind of a late bloomer type guy. Do you kind of feel like your best football is still ahead of you?
Absolutely, without a question. I'm nowhere near. I personally don't feel like I'm near my peak yet. So yeah, my best football is definitely ahead of me.
Awesome. And the last question I have for you here is, in this receiver group, I mean, we see this every year. Receiver groups or receiver classes are just getting so much better and better. And you can find really good receivers throughout the class. So in this class, I'm kind of going to ask you to sell me on what I'm getting with you. So what am I getting on the field, off the field if my team were to draft you in this class?
You're just getting a great person. Honestly, I don't. Just a good person overall. Just like a loyalty. You know what I'm saying? That's just what type of person I am. Just a good person overall, but a hard worker. Somebody who's going to work and want to be the best and like going to stay on the game, on top of the game at all times. Do whatever I need to do to be the best, and really just sacrifice whatever I need to. And you're getting an overall good teammate. For me, like especially at Michigan, I had to kind of like not playing as much as I wanted to. I had to like kind of fall into where I needed to be and just help push the guys in front of me, helping the young guys, talking to them. So if that's what I need to do, I'll do it. It's just a good teammate, just somebody I really want to win, honestly. And lastly, I'll say just a hard worker and a dude who love the game. Like I really love football. So I do whatever to make sure I'm the best at what I do. And just keep a hard worker. Just go keep working, no matter what.
Awesome. Yeah, Colts fans, I highly recommend checking out this guy's film. The stuff they put on film this past year and at Jackson State is some pretty great stuff. And if there's any guy who's going to be able to stick in the league, regardless of where he goes, it's going to be Daylen Baldwin. So check it out, guys. And check my article. It's going to be on Sports Illustrated about this whole interview and stuff. So Daylen, I appreciate the time and good luck throughout this whole process, man. It's going to be insane, but just keep your head down. Keep it going, man.
Absolutely. Appreciate you. Thank you.
Yep. You have a good one.
You as well. Bye-bye.